Welcome on in, everybody, to episode 2 of the Note Taking the New podcast here on the Jazz Huddle. I'm Madison. Along with me is Blake, and we got a lot to talk to you guys about on this May 5th day. We got to look at some of the top prospects. The Jazz have a number 10 pick, or the number 9 probably pick. We'll find out here on May 16th for the draft lottery, which we will be live for. So you'll want to make sure to stop on in for that. But we're looking at some of the top 10 prospects upcoming this year's NBA draft. The Jazz could be drafting 1. Jazz could be drafting as low as 11 or 12, I think it is. But probably the Jazz will have a top 10 pick. So we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at Luka Doncic. Who would have thought we would have been talking about Luka Doncic on a Jazz Huddle podcast after he just
Not
wiped
me.
the floor with us a year ago? Yet here we are. Then we got Kelly Olynyk, player grade. And then some words regarding Justin Zanik. But it's an exciting time. And we get to start it off by looking to the future. Something that the Jazz have been looking forward to ever since we traded Rudy Gobert away on July 1st in 2022. Break down some of these prospects for us. We're going to be giving yes and no for the guys that we mentioned. I believe we're mentioning 10 guys. We're going to be like, yes, no. Blake's going to break it down a little bit. And let's get our thoughts on some of these future Jazzmen.
So basically, the way that I'm looking at this right now, we're just going to go through the top 10 because we don't know if the Jazz are going to look to trade up. They could go anywhere. So if they end up with the 9th pick, you package another couple first, you could end up anywhere from 5 to 2. Potentially. One is pretty much whoever gets it, you're taking Victor Wembanyama. So let's start with him. First of all, he is seen to be right now the NBA's greatest prospect in decades, with the ceiling to be an all-time great, and it looks like he is unlike anyone the game has ever seen before. The big board says it all. Potential GOAT, it is calling him, and human highlight, he's got that dog in him, as the Ringer's big board says. If we take a look at his points per game, he's averaging 21.3, 3.2 blocks per game, and 9.9 rebounds, 30.4%. This is in a professional league, Metropolitan's 92. He's out of France, and, he's looking really, really good, and it only gets better when you get to work with those NBA development coaches. I'm going to give him a yes if we by some crazy thing happening, we get him, then take him.
Well, listen, if you say no to Victor Wembanyama, I'm going to send you to the hospital. They're going to drug test you, whatever. Because if you say no to a talent of the level of that guy, it's no secret. Everybody says yes to Victor Wembanyama. But has there been a generational talent like this so hyped up since LeBron James?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. And that's what you're getting
Zion was maybe the closest, but no.
Zion was the closest, but he still wasn't. I've never seen people talk about a draft prospect like they have Victor Wembanyama. And I'm going to be so real to the point where I'm going to say the Jazz will be legit Western Conference contenders next season. No. I'll go the Jazz are legit final threats in 2025. So the 2024-2025 season, if we get Victor Wembanyama in the draft. That's how confident I am that he can be such a good player. He's going to be. He can shoot. I mean, you saw that 3-pointer that he took. Freaking missed it. Put back his own missed 3. Name one NBA guy that's ever done that. Can't do it.
Ridiculous.
He's just an absolute menace, a species of his own. I mean, Victor Wembanyama is a guy that you just look at and you go, yeah, he's miles above him. And the next guy we're going to talk about is Scoot Henderson. But Scoot Henderson in any other year in the last 5-7 years would be the number 1 overall draft. No doubt. No doubt. But it's not even a talk. We've known about Victor for a little bit now. Victor's been the clear consensus number 1 for as long as we can remember. As long as mock drafts have started coming out for 2023, it's always been Victor Wembanyama.
You're right.
But then, with all that hype surrounding Victor Wembanyama, it possibly opens up a door to trade up for number 2. Everybody's going to be calling whoever gets number 1. But maybe Danny Ainge has got his eye on somebody else, like Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is, I don't think that whoever has number 1 is going to give up this pick because, listen, I mean, it's going to be billions of dollars for your franchise and jersey sales and in trade value if you do decide to go that route, which they won't. But
listen,
he's
Utah.
great. I mean,
if
great.
Utah has him, you offer me 15 first-round draft picks and 2 young players.
Not taking it. It's just he's a unicorn, man, and we're gonna see this immediately. He's like Chet Holmgren, but a million times better, a million times stronger. He's not getting injured. I like it, and of course, all of these guys have an injury risk, but based off of the way he plays and the stuff he does, he has been doing these things and not getting injured for several years now. So I really like where he's at. 7'3", he's a good player. Let's move on to number 2.
Could talk about Victor for forever.
Yeah, you could talk about him for forever, but we have to move on because it's a 0.4 chance that we get him. So, whatever. Whoever gets that number 1 pick is taking him. Number 2 on this big board is Brandon Miller.
What?
Look, okay. Now it's a tough one because again he laid an egg. He laid an egg. Just hold on. He laid an egg in March Madness, but during the season. In the SEC, which is a pretty darn good conference, had 18.8 points a game, 38.4, 8.2 rebound or 38.4 percentage from outside, 8.2 rebounds, 0.9 blocks. Tall scorer with playmaking skills who can do everything on the court. Human highlight, feel for the game, positional versatility. But I'm gonna go no. I cannot get past the way that he played in March Madness. That is the closest thing to the NBA you're gonna see. High level gameplay every day. I think Addison and I have been in agreement on this one for a while. If this is the guy at number 2, then we're letting number 2 slide. We're taking Scoot. And
my goodness.
I think, go ahead.
Listen, Brandon Miller, not only having those off-court issues, which was a big part this year,
which could make him
I remember watching that. I get it. It was a bad game. He had a really good regular season. I just remember watching that San Diego State game and being like, no.
Yeah.
Like, sure, falls to 5, falls to 6. Sure. 2 is outrageous. Let me tell you also. Scoot Henderson, if Brandon freaking Miller gets drafted before Scoot Henderson and the Jazz haven't traded up in the draft, now let's say the Rockets have the number 2 overall pick and they take Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson. Danny Ainge better get his butt on the phone and start calling whoever the hell is number 3 because that's my guy, Scoot Henderson.
Yeah,
Scoot Henderson is the guy. I'll bring up Scoot Henderson. I assume he's number 3 on the board.
He is.
He's number 3 on the board. If he wasn't number 3 on the board, listen, there's going to be some major issues. Have y'all watched that man play? He looks he looks like a linebacker. Bro doesn't look like he plays basketball. He's an absolute unit. I mean, just absolutely built. Plays hard. His driving ability unmatched. He has a solid shot. Defense is there. Literally Scoot Henderson all day. His mid-range jumper, so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so smooth. It's like watching. Oh my gosh. Just imagining Scoot Henderson. Obviously, Victor would be nice. Don't get me wrong. But could you imagine if we've got Scoot Henderson and Colin Sexton as our 2 point guards on this team? Oh, that's disgusting. Scoot Henderson. Yeah, I mean, Colin will probably start the year.
Super athletic guards. Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Please feed me Scoot Henderson. He can do whatever he wants. Like, he's also a generational talent. We said any other year, this guy's probably going number 1. I don't know what this Brandon Miller crap is. It's not going to last. Trust me on that. That might end up being a really bad take.
Maybe.
But I don't believe in Brandon Miller. But listen, Scoot Henderson.
We want Scoot, man.
Absolute yes from me. Yeah. Absolute yes from me. Give me Scoot Henderson on the Jazz. Jazz get Scoot Anderson were, again, final threats in 3 years, 4 years.
So let me talk about Scoot a little bit, just kind of from my perspective. So I totally agree with Addison in a lot of ways. So you kind of see some shades of Russell Westbrook, prime Russell Westbrook here, and Derrick Rose. The biggest thing about those guys, and we're seeing that now, is that the durability factor can be tough, but he's very, very young, 19 years of age, so you have a lot of good years before that starts getting a little tough. But again, when those guys were in their prime, they were unstoppable. We remember seeing that. And hopefully the Jazz would be able to extend a guy like this. This is prime, right?
Yeah,
And
he was dealing with the concussion injury
yes.
this past year and missed some time. That I think that's just something to
Yeah,
note, not
that's just,
to
yeah,
worry about, but something to.
arbitrary for sure. But supreme athlete who wants to bury his opponents with ferocious dunks. We've seen that with Donovan Mitchell. And, guys like that. Donovan obviously was fantastic in Utah, but this could take us over the edge, especially being a rookie. The rookie contract really helps, gives you that room to do other things. So let's look at his stats real quick. 16.5 points per game. He stands 6'2", 195. That 195 is a big factor. That kind of shows you how strong he is. 6'9" wingspan, definitely some good length on him, but 6.5 assists per game, really good stuff. 3.5 turnovers per game is kind of concerning, but he's still 2-1 on that, so you'll take that. 1 steal a game, not bad at all, but the 27.5 from outside, that number scares me a little bit.
That's a worry, but
we've seen the Jazz develop guys into 3-point shooters like constantly.
And he's a mid-range guy. He's a mid-range guy.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm very, very content. Obviously you want to get that up, but even if you can get that to a 35,
yeah,
that's a big jump. But if you can get it to a 35,
I think you could do it.
You're sitting pretty. Let's hit the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we got the 3 main guys out of the way. But I know we got some those G League guys still to go.
We do. So Amen Thompson is our next guy.
I'm not going to say anything on these two because I don't really know their game at all. I think it would be just very inaccurate, whatever I give. So I'm just not going to give an opinion. Personally, though, I am going to give a little opinion. I'm not the biggest fans of them. But just from what I've seen, but I don't really know, so I'm not saying things.
So I'll just kind of talk about him real quick. Amen Thompson, you get kind of like that tall John Moran, almost like a beanstalk version of Zion Williamson. Not super crazy, just super athletic. Just a human highlight for sure. Ball handling and positional versatility. The biggest thing though that I kind of look at is that he's very, very good with the ball. The jump shot could definitely get better. He's a defensive and playmaking kind of guy. Knows how to get inside. He's kind of a Mario type guy. I would take him if he fell to a pick that we were comfortable at, but still I'm looking to stay in that top 3. So honestly, for me, I'll say yes, but just because I don't know a ton about him and there's not really a whole lot of statistics to look at. Right. When you look at number 5, it's I'm not sure how to pronounce this guy's name. It's his brother though, Assure Thompson.
Something like that. I know you're talking about that.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. Sean Livingston with elite athleticism. We saw this. So both of these guys, very, very good playmakers. That's kind of what you're looking at. That's really intriguing about both of these guys. Again, they're very athletic, human highlights, positional versatility, and they really just know how to move the ball around.
It's a solid draft, man.
Yeah, it is a very solid draft. And these guys are brothers too. And that is some big time stuff. Again, lockdown defenders, both of these kids. So I'm going to say yes on both of them. Again, if we end up at 5 or 6, I think that is not a bad
it's not
decision.
Bad, no.
Yeah.
For the spot.
Right. They're playmakers, and that's what we need on this team. If you can get more guys to get the ball to guys like Walker Kessler, like Lauri Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is the opposite of a playmaker. He is a scorer. We need more playmakers on this team. For that reason, I would take those guys. Anthony Black is number 6.
No.
Okay, no. He's going no. He's a big guard. No. I'm gonna say no off the.
He reminds me of Colin Sexton.
I'm gonna say no, but the only thing is
not everything, but
he is similar to Colin Sexton, although he is personified as a big guard. 6'7" is what he's at. 198, kind of slim big guard. shades of Lonzo Ball is kind of what
Yeah,
you get
no,
here. But and look, here's the
um,
thing for me. The kicker for me is he's got 3.9 assists per game. We need better assist
no,
numbers
we
than
need,
that. And he's
yeah,
got
we need
3
playmaking.
turnovers a game in college in the SEC. So
No,
I'm probably gonna have to pass on this one.
I'm not
Very
in. I've never been an Anthony Black fan. He's always been linked to Utah. Went and watched a couple of his highlights and watched a couple of Arkansas games. No, I'm just no. Like
that's
that's not
fair.
what we need, right? Yeah, but you're like Addison. You want Scoot Henderson? He's a point guard too. He's a point guard too. Yeah, two very different point guards.
Right.
One can
We
score the
need
ball
pure
whenever he
point guard
wants.
type stuff.
One
Yeah.
one can't, right? Let's just be so for real. Like, yeah, he can score. We can't score like Scoot Henderson can. And listen, if we have pick 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't care where we are in the first round. No,
Yeah.
no, no, on it. No, absolutely.
All right, let's see here. So Jarris Walker is going to be our next one. Both knows.
Yes,
So
yes.
Jarris Walker, I like this one a lot. Forward out of Houston, 11.2 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 1.3 blocks. And look, I'll say this: if you get him, if you can put him at small forward, you can get
4. No, him at the 4.
at the
Power
4,
forward.
sure. So he could be a
Power.
backup 4 for us right off the bat, I would say. And look, because you got to have
And he
Lowry
can
and
shoot. And
yeah,
he can
you're
shoot.
right. So and he can shoot 34.7%, and that he's on a very, very good team. So I think that this is great. A versatile wrecking
Oh
ball on
man,
defense, skilled
imagine
playmaker on
having
offense. That's what you need, right? I
yeah.
really like it. Go ahead.
Imagine having Kessler and Jerry's or Jarice, however you say
Jarris
his first
Walker.
name,
Yeah, you're on the
Darius
right
Walker
track.
on the floor on the same time. I mean, that's a ridiculous duo. I really like his game. As someone who watches a horrendous USF basketball team, year in and year out, I watch a lot of American Athletic Conference games. Jairus Walker's that guy,
Yeah, he's good.
and if he's there, we should take. We should take him. I get we have our center, we have a power forward, whatever.
Right, and this is a
What
guy
a
who you
backup.
could.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You could also run him as a small ball 5. He is 6'8", 7'2" wingspan, 240. I mean, what's not to like? The 3-point percentage is really good. We haven't had a 3-point shooter at the 4 or 5. Well, I guess Lowry Markkinen, but we haven't had a 5 who can shoot in forever. So I really like that. So that's a yes for me. Okay. Another forward, Taylor Hendricks out of UCF. I don't know much about this guy.
I don't know much about him. He's just come out of nowhere.
It's
He's
true.
come out of nowhere.
It's true.
I don't know much about him. So I don't know what to say, but like I feel like you get these things and they're so hit or miss. Like Anthony Richardson, yeah, I heard a lot about him, but Anthony Richardson all of a sudden went from being a probably a 3rd round draft pick to whoa,
Top 4.
this
Yeah.
guy's top 4. He's the franchise quarterback for the Colts now.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great start to the season, played like crap at the end of the season, and then top 4. So I don't really understand the guys that come from out of nowhere. And I feel like that's what Taylor Hendricks has done. I heard that he was like a late 1st rounder, early 2nd round pick at the beginning of the year, even midway through the season, and all of a sudden he could very well be going top 10. So I can't say yes or no because I don't really know, but I'm very hesitant on guys that just jump all of a sudden on the board. So I would have to lean no.
Okay.
But again, that's with me not knowing much
So
on a guy like him.
yeah, and let me talk a little bit about this guy, just kind of based off of some initial impressions here. They're giving him shades of Jeremy Grant and Jaden McDaniels. I do like what I'm seeing here. 15.1 points per game on 58.9% true shot percentage. The only thing that scares me a little bit, I mean, he
seems like a certified bucket though.
He does. 7 rebounds too, almost a double-double there. 39.4% from outside, 1.7 blocks. I mean, maybe this is the steal of the draft. We won't know. We won't know. But I don't know. I'm gonna give him a yes, just because it just looks good. And if we're at that point, and we still have the 9th pick, and maybe he falls to us, or we have the 8th or whatever, however the paths work, I would take him. If he falls to us, I'll take him. So I
don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. Okay,
I don't know if he's on your big board, but I think, but really the last guy that I want to touch on
Huh?
is Cam Whitmore.
Cam Whitmore. So we are just about to touch on him. We got one more guy after him, but Cam, where his stats? I need his stats.
Yeah.
But
Feed me those.
Cam out of Villanova had some issues with injury this year, but 6'7", 232, the big wing. He's got that positional versatility,
3 and D,
athleticism,
baby.
feel for the
3 and D.
game, a dog in him. Semi-truck with a Ferrari's accelerator is kind of what they're saying here. He's quick, man. He is big, but he is quick, and we've seen that athleticism from him at every step of the way. But a very relentless competitor, and it was tough for Villanova to lose this guy, especially considering that it was a first-year coach over there after the departure of Jay Wright. So that's a rough one. But versatile on-ball defender with stopper upside, and he's got great offensive stuff. Doesn't even need space to elevate for dunks. That's some really good stuff. We would like that.
Yeah,
Big
and
wing.
his defense. I mean, I just want to focus on his defense. I mean, he's such a great defender. One of my favorite Jazz Instagram pages that I follow. Man, I hope I get it right. It's either Jazz. I think it's Jazz for 3. I could be wrong. It's either Jazz for 3 or Jazz County, but I'm pretty sure it's Jazz for 3. And he's been a big Cam Whitmore guy, and it's kind of made me a little bit of a more of a Cam Whitmore guy. The Jazz were one of the worst defenses in the league last year, and I think a guy like Cam Whitmore
Heck yeah.
would really help out with that. So I'm gonna go yes on Cam Whitmore.
And he's in our spot, so I'm gonna give him a yes as well. I really do like that. And the only thing that doesn't really pan out for him right now is that it kind of looks like he lacks a little bit of experience in the post. But once he gets into the NBA, working with all those guys, I'm sure he'll be fine with his size and his weight. He'll be good. So number 10, this is the guy who I think is going to be the steal of the draft. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what you're going to think about it, but I think he's going to be really, really good. And let's be real. I mean, the Jazz need another guard. So I think this is definitely a possibility. I feel like he might be taken earlier than this, but at number 10, Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. He's a freshman, put up 11.7 points a game, 34.6 from outside, 4.3 attempts per game. That's not bad at all. 4.3 assists per game.
Why?
2 steals.
Why is he your steal of the draft? Why is he your steal of the draft?
Well, listen, I mean, he's a really good defender who fills gaps on offense as a playmaker and shooter. His first thing is defense with that 2 steals. That's a big time thing. He steals the ball on 3.6% of every possession. That's what he did this last year. Big time stuff, and defends bigger than his height is kind of what I'm reading. And look, I mean, this is just it's an outside guess, but I just feel like he's got that hustle to try to go do it. So I think it's going to be really good.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me put you in the shoes of Danny Ainge and Justin Zanik. It's draft night.
Yeah.
It's draft night. You've landed pick number 5.
You're not taking him. No, you're going up. I'm saying this is a steal. You hear what I mean?
Hold on.
Like,
but here's my question. If you're saying he's going to be the steal of the draft, are you taking him over Anthony Black at 5?
well, probably not. Because
Okay, well then I don't believe you. Then I can't believe you. How am I going to believe you? If you're going to stop, if you're going to try and tell me, Blake, that this man is the steal of the draft, you got to have confidence in him.
True.
Listen. Let me tell you something, right? If we're at 5, and it's Cam Whitmore or one of the Thompson brothers, I'm sorry. It might just have to be Whitmore.
Yeah.
And that might be a bold take. That might be a bold take. But you know what? You know what else is bold? You know what else is crazy? Crazier than all that?
What?
The Luka Doncic rumor.
Yes.
The Luka Doncic rumor to Utah. I know you have a quote. I saw, but I don't remember it, so I know you have that on you. Read that quote up.
So this is from Bleacher Report. It says the Utah Jazz are keeping a very interested eye on Doncic's situation in Dallas, according to the Athletics' John Hollinger. He added that the Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder would be able to outbid other teams for the veteran point guard due to the draft capital they have available. The only thing I don't like about that, I hate trading picks, but that is the way that it goes these days. You have to trade picks.
You have to trade picks, and we have the assets to do so. But I'm still gonna go and say no.
Yeah, and look, I'm the same way for one reason and one reason only. Look at his success in Dallas; it just wasn't enough. It hasn't been enough.
And
simply.
and not only that, yes, Luke is a generational talent. Luka could very well win many titles in his career. However, what I want to point out is one of my favorite rebuilds, and I think who Utah is mocking theirs after is OKC.
Hmm.
Have you seen OKC go out and make a big splash trade or anything like that? Not that I don't want Utah to make a splash trade. Like, I would love Damian Lillard, right? I would love that, whatever. But they haven't. They built through the draft, and they just built a team that's going to have continued success
Because they're all
and a
young.
playoff team
They're all
for
young.
multiple years to come. You got a guy like SGA, Josh Giddey. I mean, Jalen Williams, second rookie of the year over Walker Kessler this year. I mean, they've just got talent on talent on talent. And they could have. You know, they see, wow, Shai and Lee Dort, they're playing pretty dang solid right
And
now.
they've got
surround
Chet
these guys.
too. Like,
Right.
and they
Let's
could
surround these
go
guys.
after him and send a guy like Chet over there. See, you know, and they've got a ton of draft capital. That is, I feel like that is what Zanik and Ainge are going for here. They're trying to have options, and that's just an option. But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna go with you on that one. We already traded away our 2 stars. We have the draft capital. Maybe we could go after him, and look, maybe that is why they freed up so much cap space. But we'll just have to see. And would I be mad if we ended up with Luka Doncic?
No.
No, not at all. I think that they would really be good.
Depending on what we give up, because if for a guy like Luka, you've got to give up one of Markkanen or Kessler. You have to. You have to.
You do. As much as you don't want to admit it.
And do you really want to do that? Think about Luka's salary, max salary. Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler combined for 13% of our overall salary cap.
Same.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell me a more beautiful thing in this world. You can't.
Yeah, you
right?
can't.
Let's use that 13% to our advantage to build up.
Yeah.
And not Luka.
I agree.
Not yet, not right now. Love the idea. If it happened, I'm not going to be all world pissed. But one, you can't give up Markkanen or Kessler. And that's their asking price. The answer is no. And that's why I'm saying, like, if we can get them for 3 first-round draft picks and Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, even throw in Ochai Agbaji. I know you guys are high on Ochai. So am I. Let's be real. If we can get Luka for Ochai, 3 first-round draft picks, and Colin Sexton, you guys know how much I love Colin Sexton. Yes, I mean, you say yes. Then you say yes. But you can't give up your untouchable.
No.
And that's Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. And now we're going to talk about someone who definitely isn't an untouchable, but a guy who came to Utah via trade this past offseason and played very solid. I wasn't a big fan of this guy at first. He hit the game winner against the Pelicans beginning of this season, but then kind of struggled a lot.
Yeah.
And near the end of the season, after all the trades were made, Kelly Olynyk really started to shine this season. And I really liked what I saw, and he's a guy that I really wouldn't mind keeping around for a couple of years to help mentor these young guys that we're talking about drafting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would give him, if I had to give him a grade, I would probably give him an A, because look, I mean, it's a little high, but I mean, he lived up to expectations. He did fine. The end of the year was tough for him, but I mean, he lived up to what he needed up to.
If you're giving like a percentage, I'm giving like an 85.
But
sure,
maybe I would go A minus to be specific.
A-. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the question of the hour. And I want you guys to comment this down below. If you made it this far on the podcast, thank you for watching. We'll see if you made it this far on the podcast and are actually listening, because we'll see how many comments are in the comment section answering this question. What was your favorite Kelly Olynyk moment this year? Was it A, the game winner versus New Orleans, or the bank 3 versus the Lakers? And there's only one right answer to this question.
Okay. Which would be the game winner, right?
No.
What?
The answer is 120% the bank shot to tie it versus LA.
All right, whatever. That's weird, but
no way.
Okay.
No way. That it was awesome. Little 3 with 3 seconds on the buzzer beater, but the pull up from half court down by 3.
Season on the line. It was
Kelly
weird.
Olynyk pulls up from the Jazz logo and calls bank.
That's cool.
That is the Kelly Olynyk
cool.
moment.
Well, comment your thoughts down below.
Comment below. comment below. It's
And now
Blake likes being wrong sometimes. It's okay.
I don't like being wrong. In fact, I actually don't like that. But let's move on to our last topic today. So we're going to talk about Justin Zanik real quick. We talk a lot about Danny Ainge. Everything is Danny Ainge. But in reality, these two are really working in tandem.
Yeah.
Monte McNair won the General Manager of the Year, Basketball Executive of the Year for the Sacramento Kings this year. So
Which,
big time
understandable.
stuff. Well, absolutely understandable. They've done a fantastic job bringing in all those pieces, Sabonis, and everybody that they brought in has been really good. So
Reminds me of that Sacramento fan. Oh man, I can't wait till he comes in the stream next year.
Yeah, he thought
that
he was
dude
winning.
was being,
But Keegan Murray too. That kid's a baller. So
I
like everything they've done. But winning third place in votes was Utah Jazz GM Justin Zanik, who received 1 first place vote, 4 second place votes, and 3 third place votes. Look, he has done a great job. This whole executive team has done a great job of finally giving us some breathing room where we don't have to sign these washed up guys to veteran contracts.
I mean, my God, remember Ed Davis?
Good Lord, that was awful.
Ed Davis. I remember I was excited about that too. He was like, Dad, Ed Davis is such an underrated player. Like, he's an offensive board getter. Bro has to be my least favorite Jazz player of all time. Like he was so bad. Maybe not least favorite, but he was bad. But no, I mean this management team has put us executive team has put us in such a good position for the future where, a year and a half ago or a year ago right now, the Jazz are like, good heavens, what the heck are we going to do with our future? We're trapped. We're stuck. What are we going to do? And Danny Ainge and Justin Zanik have worked well together to get us out of this mess. And now, we make we were talking earlier about the draft picks. We make a right draft pick. Who knows where this team can go?
Right.
Who knows how much marketing continues to grow, and Kessler continues to grow. Abaji continues to grow. Maybe go out and sign a couple good free agents.
Right.
And that's what we're going to be talking about all next week. We got a whole other week for you guys coming up next week.
Yeah.
And we got that.
And you guys also in the comments, put what topics you want us to cover, because this is an open box. Send in your letters.
Absolutely.
Ask us to answer questions, and we will do so. Put that in the comments and like this sucker up. We need to get people watching this stuff so we can do more fun stuff just like this. But it's been very enjoyable today to talk about our big board. I think we got a lot of good things to talk about. We're going to do more in-depth videos coming up here very soon, breaking down some of these prospects that we're talking about. I'll be kind of going into depth on some of these guys and, seeing what they could do with the Utah Jazz.
Absolutely. And we'll be back for Note Taken episode 3 on Monday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time and 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a great Friday, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday.